Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel for a brand new video. In 1976, a team of researchers from the California Institute of Technology discovered a new fossil at the site of Litoli in Tanzania. The fossil turned out to be a collection of 380 fragments from at least one individual, but they couldn't tell if it was male or female. They also couldn't figure out how to piece the bones back together since the fossil had been so heavily trampled by other animals that had used the site as a latrine. But that didn't stop them from making an important determination. They concluded that this ancient specimen was definitely a human ancestor, the earliest one yet found. And they named it Lucy after the singer Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. With a brain size about half the size of ours and a body that stood just over 3 feet tall, Lucy is thought to have lived around 2.9 million years ago. That made her about twice as old as King Tut and, roughly speaking, about as far back as we can go in the fossil record for our direct ancestors. But the search for the first human doesn't end with Lucy. In fact, there have been many more discoveries since then. And now scientists are asking what makes us human. To answer this question, they re-digging up the past to learn what life was like when our ancestors first emerged in Africa. What did they eat? How did they move? How big was their social group? And above all, what did their brains look like? All these questions are important because the answers can help us understand not only how we evolved, but also what it means to be human. This is an ongoing investigation. And as technology improves, scientists get better and better at extracting more information from ancient fossils. And thanks to some recent developments, we have a lot more to say about Lucy. Like, for instance, where she got her bowl cut. The story goes that after being found, Lucy's skull was carefully cleaned by hand, which inadvertently removed some of the fossil's defining features. And in 1981, when the cast of her skull was sent to the Smithsonian, the preparator there gave her a little trim. That's right, she got a haircut. Since then, scientists have wanted to restore Lucy's original cranium so they could finally see what kind of head of hair she sported. One way to reconstruct the shape of the missing parts of the fossil is to use CT scans to make a digital copy of the skull. Researchers took a bunch of X-ray images of the fossil from different angles and created a detailed 3D model of Lucy's skull. Using this model, they were able to estimate what parts of her skull were missing and then use that to sculpt a virtual version of her head. They compared their reconstruction with the skulls of modern humans and apes and found that Lucy likely had a unique hairstyle, a short, thick mop of coarse hair covering her entire head. This would have been an efficient way for her to stay warm, since it would have provided insulation without the need for lots of undergrowth that might get in the way while walking. Lucy was part of a group of early hominins called Australopithecus, and to date, Lucy is the oldest member of her group. Hominins are the members of the biological family Hominidae, which includes great apes, such as chimpanzees and gorillas, as well as extinct relatives of humans. And while Lucy may not be the very first hominin, she is certainly a critical piece of the puzzle. By studying her and other fossils like her, scientists hope to learn how and why the human lineage split off from the one that led to modern apes. A complete understanding of the evolutionary split between humans and apes will require the discovery of several key features. We know that the emergence of the genus Homo, to which modern humans belong, was a major step in the evolutionary history of our lineage. But which traits define the early members of this group? Scientists debate whether an increase in brain size or the use of tools was the defining characteristic of the first true humans. But whatever the answer, studying Lucy and other early hominins will bring us closer to that answer. It could even help us better understand what sets us apart from our closest living relatives, the chimpanzee. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe my channel. See you next time.